Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Tumi, Chef Chart, you've promised to zhuzh up something that is a staple in South African households. Mealie pap.
Absolutely. Well, you know, we're going down one of these roads that, you know, when you don't change something that's so classic, so traditional, and that is so part of our heritage in South Africa. So I'm always, you know, I'm game for, you know, changing things up, but I certainly have some friends that are very much, you stick to the traditions. Like an Italian recipe, you don't change it. This is one of those things I'm sure lots of people are going to say, don't change, but hey, I'm up for saying new.
Let's see how we're about to turn it up in the kitchen. Now, if you love the decadent and creamy taste of mushrooms and pap, then this next recipe is for you. We're cooking creamy mealie pap topped with caramelized mushrooms and a fresh gremolata garnish on the top of it. I mean, it's a meal and it's going to be a bowl of yumminess. Tumi, you've offered us nothing but the best in here.
Nothing but the best, Balisa. I love flavor. I love taste. I love something that makes my tummy do star jumps and cartwheels and all of that. And this is what this dish packs. It packs flavor, it packs nutrition, and it makes the most of our fresh produce. We've been talking about mushrooms, we've been talking about all these different things, and right now we're going to be making them, we're going to be celebrating it. So maize, in essence, is corn in a different way. It's just been ground up. So to start it off, Chef, I've just put some of our Clover Classic fat spread into your pan, because that's how we're going to be searing or frying up our mushrooms. And in here, I've also got some water that's been boiling, because before we papa, it is very important to make sure that the water is hot, because it has to boil and to cook down. This is something very similar to polenta, Palisa. I don't know if you've heard of polenta.
I love polenta.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. We're just putting our spin on it. And to start it off, I'm also going to scoop a very generous amount of my Clover Classic fat spread into my boiling water as well, because what I want to do is I want it to dissolve in there. This is what's going to give that creamy flavor that we're talking about in our creamy pap.
And what I liked about this product is that it's just absolutely versatile. I mean, it's a fat spread that is versatile use in a spread, in baking, or in cooking it. And we're kind of making use of both ways here. I mean, this spread is ideal for everyday use, and just a touch goes a long way. And it's an incredible source of 10 vitamins, which I'm personally here for. So what is a gremolata for all of our viewers who might not know?
So gremolata is basically a green herb sauce. A green herb sauce, very simply, you've got some parsley, a little bit of lemon zest, a little bit of oil, and that's it. It's something very simple, very fresh. So you can imagine that wonderful freshness you're going to get from the parsley, lemon, and then you've got that wonderful sort of, you know, fat that's going to coat your mouth. But there's lots of different variations that you can start adding in. I mean, you've got some, you know, sunflower seeds going into it.
Yeah.
You start going down, you know, you might have heard the word salsa verde. You know, and then you're starting to get anchovies that start coming into it. So there's lots of different variations that we get, but something you want to go pair beautifully. I mean, parsley and mushrooms, great combination. Now you're talking lemons, perfect combination. And then you've got that wonderful, you know, if you've got a pecorino or a Parmesan cheese to go on the top there, and then to go with that pap that's just giving you the body and the lift, really.
I love that. On my side, you know, that's exactly the station I'm on, and I'm quite well underway in creating this gremolata. My parsley is already chopped up. It's in there. My sunflower seeds are in there too. We also have this delicious lemon zest here that Chef and Tumi has already prepared. How much do I put in? I'm just going to put in all of it, because why not? I've also got this lemon juice that Chef has told me about. Now, it's interesting, Chef, that I'm going to take some of your oil, add it in here as well. And you said the oil is just for that extra coat of fattiness.
Yeah, that fattiness, you know, that sort of, that real richness there, but it obviously sort of carries all the parsley and everything else as well. I mean, you can put it into a liquidizer and just blend it up, but I mean, we've got you working doing that as well. So you can imagine that freshness, and then to here, always season again. Good pinch of salt in the mushrooms here, a little black pepper as well, and then thyme. If you haven't got thyme, rosemary. If you haven't got that, maybe a bit of sage. Think of it like a hard herb, something that's sort of quite robust that can go into here.
Tumi, this is definitely a trend that I'm seeing coming up quite frequently in this recipe. We are using very, very hard, strong herbs.
Correct, Palisa. And they're going to work very well with this recipe, because what I've got here is I've got that creamy pap that we made earlier. I just covered it a few minutes ago. I let it release some of its steam. I'm going to cover it again and let it cook through. Luckily for today, I'm using that instant pap, so it's going to be finished very quickly. And as you can see, I've made it very soft, Palisa, because we don't want it to be that hard pap that you eat when you're having like stews and stuff. You want it to be nice and creamy and soft, like the polenta consistency. And then to it, just before I dish it up, I'm going to add some of our Parmesan, like you said, Chef. The flavor of the Parmesan works very well with the flavors of the mushroom and those herbs that you're putting into it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're starting to get that umami flavor coming through here. And then I'm going to take it another step further here, a little bit of balsamic vinegar. It could be a little bit of white vinegar. It could be even just a little bit of lemon juice. So you can really substitute if you haven't got it, start thinking, what's going to be sharp? What's going to give me that wonderful acidity on the palate? Because now you've got something that's going to be sharp. The mushrooms are going to absorb all that flavour. And how's it all working together?
Beautifully. This is delicious. And Tumi, I see exactly what you're talking about by saying you don't necessarily have to go with pap. You can go with a polenta. You can go with couscous. Chef, you also was giving us rice options also. How about a creamy risotto type grain?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine that creaminess. Which in essence is what you got here. I mean, a risotto is just a lot more of a looser consistency. So again, that could work, beautifully as well with that on top. I mean, vegetarian, food can be absolutely delicious. So start thinking of your layers. Creaminess, that richness, that voluptuous note. Then the acidity from the mushrooms and the umami-ness, and then you've got that lovely freshness going to the parsley. I think it's a great recipe that you ladies have put together and made it look so beautiful.
It looks delicious. You definitely are eating with your eyes here. This finished product is just iconic. And also, as soon as I had a first bite, it definitely is that yumminess hug in a bowl that we asked for. Now, simple and super easy. To get this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.